So what is the problem? Because it is Southwest more than others. I mean, weather affected presumably all the airlines equally.
No, absolutely. I mean, to be clear, when the winter storms blanketed the entire U.S., every airline was affected. But it's still only Southwest that is canceling thousands of flights a day, and that's going to continue for several days. I mean, one thing to keep in mind that sort of differentiates Southwest from some of the other bigger carriers like American and Delta is they operate a more of a point-to-point system rather than the so-called hub and spoke model. So a disruption in one place can have broad ripple effects. And they're clearly they haven't recovered yet. Their systems were just simply overwhelmed.
Well, how much of that was actually managing it to too close a tolerance? That is to say, really managing the margins, trying to get them up by not spending too much money.
I think there's definitely something to that. I mean, Bob Jordan has said, in that same apology video, he essentially said that the system needs to keep operating. They need to keep moving their planes, keep moving their people, even when they're not flying customers, so that for the system to work properly. And when they can't do that, as we've seen over the past week, it simply breaks down.
So when you talk about hub and spoke versus point to point, I think I kind of understand what that means, but that sounds like something that'll take a while to change if, in fact, they're going to change to hub and spoke.
Oh, I don't think they're going to try to change the hub and spoke necessarily, but it is going to take them a while to get sort of back on track. I mean, Bob Jordan has said that they're optimistic that they get back on track before next week. We shall see. They've already canceled more than half of their flights for Thursday. Cancellations for Friday is very, very minimal so far. Only officially canceled a few dozen, but yesterday the Thursday cancellations were only 20%. Now they're over 50. So. We'll see.
You got a lot of people out there who are really unhappy. Just watch your local news, and everybody has these man on the street, as we call them, interviews. This has got to damage the brand some, doesn't it? Doesn't this hurt their bottom line over the longer period of time?
Well, there's definitely lots of very, very upset, angry passengers who have, missed Christmas and holiday celebrations with their family. They have bags stranded all over the country. They can't locate them. Sometimes with important cargo inside those bags, like medications and whatnot. So yeah, I think they definitely run a risk of damaging their brand, but. Then again, I've covered companies for a long time, and in past crises, brands tend to recover over time. And with airlines, if the price is right, if the airline can fly to the location that the customers want, and especially if they have like a loyalty program or frequent flyer miles, we'll see. We'll see. But, I mean, I certainly can't recall a sort of corporate meltdown that has affected so many people in this way in quite a while.